truth is, Black America, let's talk about the truth. The truth is, Black America is under attack. At this time, 44 states are debating which Black history to teach. They're downplaying our contributions to this beautiful country and changing our narrative and diminishing our images. Unfortunately, we have seen this before. You erase the truth so you can repeat the atrocities again. That's why I've dedicated my life.
Hello. Who called me now?
Marcus.
Well, here we are. I'd like to thank you for coming on to Evadyne with Company, Talk Worth Listening to. That piece was by, for anyone who missed it, I'm going to replay the whole thing. It looks like it was interrupted, but I'd like to say good afternoon. If you like to say good afternoon, say good afternoon. If you like to, good afternoon. Is that Adrian?
Yes, it is.
Hello, Adrian. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Very good. Adrian, so actually, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do today, and I was thinking, and I said it's past Black Friday, but I think it might be gift-giving day. Giving some gifts that are tangible, holding it in your hand, and not so tangible. And then I received a message from Tommy Weiser. He's usually on Bill Graves' group, very knowledgeable. I received that video from the Griot Awards with Byron Allen. I don't know if I said Tommy Allen. Byron Allen. And it was so impactful to me as I was thinking about what to talk about, but he covered everything I was thinking about in that beach. And that's why I adore the universe. I really do. Hi. Marcus, is that you?
That is me.
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
That is me.
Thank you very much. Good evening, actually. We're going to call it the evening. It's a powerful piece. I just need to reset up so that I could play it. But it was so impactful to all of my thoughts and thinking about what to talk about today. So anyone who's on, think about what you would like to give. It could be information. It could be an item. It could be anything that you feel someone else could benefit from. And that's what we do here on the Grown Folk Talking, Express Yourself Progressive Podcast Network. We share so much wonderful information. And in that information, people walk away, crawl away, run away, sneak in to these podcast shows and from these podcast shows with just a little bit more information than they had before they arrived. Whether it is for them or for them to share with someone else, well, hey, we don't know. But we are delivering not just the hosts, but the guests who lend their helping hands, who lend their words of wisdom. Every single thing matters, one way or another, in what we do. Everything matters, whether we know it or not. Everything matters. So I'm going to ask you again to think about something that you want to give. Again, information, direction. I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. Information, direction, anything that you want to give. And we're going to open it up so that we can share. Again, hi, Marcus. Hi, Adrian. Would anyone else like to? Well, Adrian, before we pass, let's announce your show and what it's about, and anyone else who's on. We're going to do this from the top because I'm going to be busy in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. My show is Can We Talk with Adrian, and my topics are community, family, education, and somebody's knocking on my door, and community, family, education, and religion, and some politics. I don't like to talk about politics, but it's real. It's the community. It's the family. It's a little bit of everything. So Can We Talk with Adrian, Friday nights at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Adrian. And in your experiences of life, what do you want to give today to the listeners, whether they're listening today, tomorrow, next year, in 20 years, because it goes on YouTube? What would you like to give? And if you don't have it ready now, which I know you do, girl, I know. But if you don't have it ready now, if you don't have it quite ready now, you could definitely, share it a little later.
I'm ready.
Yeah, did I say I knew you would be gone?
What I like to give people is insight and information. I like to give encouragement because everybody has something special in them that would benefit other people. Even though sometimes you don't know that it's going to benefit other people, there's a lot of times when I myself would say I don't have anything, but then after I spoke to somebody, they're like, "Oh man, that was awesome. You really changed my way of thinking. You changed my life. I used to be depressed. I'm not depressed anymore." And I'm like, really? What did I say? What did I do? No, but I love to talk to people, especially when they're indecisive about something, and that seems to come easiest to me. So that's what I love. I love to encourage people. I love to give people something to think about, something insightful, something encouraging, something to make, somebody told me once, and I grabbed onto this, when somebody leaves your presence, they should have gotten better. They should have, their life should be just a little bit better because they met you. And I try to do that with everybody I meet, especially if I met you for the first time. I try to make your life to be just a little better, just a little brighter when you walk away from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so for anyone who's listening, Adrienne, what is one good piece of advice you would give to, I'm going to say that you would give to parents during this holiday time? Yep, during this holiday time.
Love your children and listen to them. They will tell you, whether you want to hear it or not, what they're missing. And a lot of times we don't know what they're missing until there's a crisis. So listen to your children and actually hear what they're saying.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And what advice would you give preteens, ages, let's say 12 to 13, early teens, young teens?
Listen to your inner self. The mistake that a lot of preteens, because I worked with preteens and teenagers for a long time, and the mistake they make when their mind is telling me no. I hate to quote songs, but the body's telling you yes. Listen to your inner thoughts. Your inner self is not going to direct you in the wrong way. If it doesn't seem right, if it doesn't feel right, go in the other direction.
Thank you. And that reminds me of what Starr had said at the October event at Speedway Academy, when he said he was going to teach, and he was speaking to an audience of parents and students. He said, I'm going to teach you how to commit murder. Remember that, Adrienne?
I remember that.
And I said, the voice in my head said, I trust him, go on, to myself, And he said, I'm going to teach you how to murder your ego. Because it is that thing, that ego, that will make you do the things your parents told you not to do the things that you know better than to do, whether your parents said it or not. It is the thing that makes you listen to those other voices, those peers, to take challenges just because. He said, I'm going to teach you how to murder your ego. And I don't know if he said this, but in the end, that is what will keep you out of trouble. That is what will keep you off of punishment. That is what will keep you out of prison. And if you just get rid of that thing, that ego thing. Thank you so, so much, Adrienne. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your shows. Again, she's on this same network, 520-525-8633, Fridays at 6 p.m., and it's Can We Talk? And yeah, we can. It's what we're supposed to do. And I love the way you don't like to quote songs, but here's my story with the songwriters. Just like anything else that we do, I always say it's bigger than us. And whether you're writing songs or plays or sitting in front of a blank canvas 1 minute and 3 months later it's a beautiful portrait or still painting, it's bigger than us. That inspiration that we are given to succeed, to create, to motivate, to be in the right place at the right time, all of that is bigger than us. It is our Creator. It is God. It's whether you talk to them or not, whether you pray or not. It don't make a difference. You can't even get in your own way when it comes to the messages that are coming down. You don't have to listen, but you can't even get in your own way. You can't block it. You might not take action, but it's coming anyway. I share with people, in my opinion, ideas come down like rain. So, yeah, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. I got that, Adrian. I got that. Thank you. So,
Thank
Marcus,
you.
huh?
I said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to know you, Adrian Cantine. My pleasure to know you. I'm looking forward to your projects. And let's say this. Let's say if someone is listening at any point in time and they'd like to get some ideas or instruction or some know-how or where to start into playwriting and directing, would you like to give a contact number? Did you mute, Adrian?
I did mute. I'm sorry. A contact number for...
Well, I'm saying if anyone's listening, you spoke about the different things that you do. So if anyone happens to be listening and they want to get involved in playwriting or advocacy or, would you like for them to contact you? And if so, would you like to give a contact number or email?
I'm not going to give a number right now, but
okay.
If they call Grown Folks Talking, if they go online, they can get in touch with me through Forrest.
Okay. Actually, you can come on to her show at 6 p.m. on Fridays.
At 6 p.m. on Fridays, yes.
At 6 p.m. on Fridays. And you can reach out to Adrienne, and where she can help, she will help, whether it's direct or direction. Thank you. That was good. I like that. Thank you. Marcus, would you like to share some information, give a gift of direction or wisdom to parents, to teenagers, to seniors, to whomever you're comfortable with the information that you have? Are you still with us?
Yes. And sorry, I'm going on mute. This is Adrian. I'm going on mute because I have somebody just came in. I have noise around me. Okay?
Thank you very much. Marcus, was that you?
Yeah, that's me, Evadyne.
Thank you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you hear my request?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat for me, please?
Sure. So as this is the end of November, Black Friday is over, the holidays are coming, I think this show is going to be a show of giving gifts, whether they're tangible or inspirational, motivational, directional. So my question to you is there anything that you would like to share on any level? And whether it's I asked Adrienne about parents because of her background, what advice would she give to parents? What advice would she give to young teenagers, preteens, 12, 13, 14? But anyone, anything you would like to give and share?
Sorry. Well, I'm not really right now categorized or compartmentalized, but generally speaking, I would offer just a little bit of wise counsel that I've received over years that's worked for me, and I would just say to people to not always take for granted what is obvious. Sometimes look past that, because everything that we consider to be of importance, we should be able to prove on some level that it's actually that it has validity, and that it truly is what it is, especially with everything going on around us nowadays. There's so many distractions that last for moments in time and then they're gone. And a lot of people key into those things and get whisked away with those things. And even after those things have run their course, they talk about them as though they happened in that moment. And I think it's a lot wiser, well, at least for me it was, look beyond what was obvious, or look beyond what was in front of me, and really vet things, just see if it's valid before giving credibility to an idea. Make sure that you can prove it, that it can stand the test, that it can actually hold water, or that it can hold its metal. And I think that would serve us better moving forward. So that's what I had to offer.
Thank you very much. Very valuable. And you will be co-hosting the third Friday of the month on Adrian's Can We Talk show at 6 p.m. on Fridays, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Very good. So looking forward to that. Again, your first show was very valuable. My shopping cart is still full with all your information. It is still full. And as I mentioned a little earlier, I wasn't sure exactly what I would be discussing today, incomplete. And as I was pondering what to talk about, I received a text message from Tommy Weiser, and he shared with me Byron Allen's talk, one of his talks, I'm sure, from the Griot Awards, the 2023 Griot Awards. And then I found another one. And so that's what I was playing. But before I replay it, because it really is powerful, and I believe the word is culminated, all of the things I was thinking about speaking about. And I don't know, the universe is wise. The universe is wise. Would anyone else like to announce themselves, announce their shows? I know following today's show, the King's Roundtable will be on with Leon. Leon, are you available? Okay, so the King's Roundtable will be on.
Here.
Okay, go ahead. Well, if you would please speak. And then, after telling us about your show, any gifts you would like to give, any nuggets, motivation, inspiration, direction to any age group, as I mentioned, parents and then teenagers, but we're talking to everybody, because everybody's listening and we all matter. Thank you.
Well, the King's Roundtable come on tonight. You can start coming into the room about 20 to 7, quarter to 7. Show's going to start at 10 minutes to 7. being as everything go the way it's supposed to go. I'm targeting really young people, but I'm going to be talking to all people. And this show here is going to be dealing with a serious issue. And I'm always trying to deal with the younger people. So if you know any younger people, bring them on. 16 and up is welcome. 15 and down has to come on with their parents. You know, as far as nuggets is concerned, I'm always trying to drop some kind of nuggets, some kind of jewels. I couldn't really chime in to the show like I needed to, getting ready for what I got to do when I come on. And so all I would like to say is, is that as people, we have to do a whole lot better. And what we're doing, these podcasts that we're on up here, it's many of them. We have a lot of them, a lot of different shows. I did get to hear you speak about Adrian's show. We just have to stick together. I'm always trying to bring everybody together, no matter what. And sometimes my message is missed because people can't take the delivery. And no matter how a delivery is brought to you, because I'm passionate, you should never miss the message. If you do, you're going to still end up where you at. I'm not perfect by far. And so with that being said, I digress. Thanks for the time. I definitely had it in my heart to make your show today. I didn't go to sleep on purpose so I could make your show today. It's just something popped up, and so I couldn't chime into what you were speaking about and talking about. So if you can, come on. 20 minutes to 7, quarter to 7. Show's going to start. And also, if you don't mind me announcing this, we have turned the thing back on. Please, when you come on to the show, don't announce yourself. I know it says you can announce yourself, but please don't announce yourself. Just come on in the room. And this is for any show, not just mine. Every show that Grown Folks Talk having, when you come in the room, you don't have to announce yourself, because at some point we all will open up the room for questions. And especially if somebody's talking, you come in and you do that, it is kind of distracting to a certain degree for some of us who's not used to it. But when you come in the room, you don't have to announce yourself. With that being said, I digress. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I am looking forward to it, and I have invited people to come on. Thank you for passing that on and sharing it. Would anyone else like to speak and share before I replay the Byron Allen speech? Okay. Thank you very much, but we will be here. Don't go nowhere. I just need you to listen in.
End slavery. Number 2, Number 1, end slavery. Number 2, end Jim Crow. Number 3, achieve civil rights. And number 4, and she choked up, and she said, and the real reason they killed my Martin, we must achieve economic inclusion. The greatest trade deficit in America is the trade deficit between white corporate America and black America. And we must close that deficit immediately. She said, you see, Byron, they didn't kill my Martin over the I Have a Dream speech. They assassinated him for the speech he gave in February of 1968 at Stanford University. And that speech was called The Other America. In that speech, he said there are 2 Americas. One America has access to jobs, education, and economic inclusion. And the other America does not. There are two Americas, and two Americas will not survive. We must achieve one America. That was the moment I decided to build one of the world's largest media companies to help effectuate change for the greater good. And what does one America look like? I call it the 5 E's. Number one, make sure everyone has a great education. Thank you, Robert F. Smith, for all that you do. And Alina McCorza, thank you for showing us how it is possible and what it looks like. Thank you. Number two, everyone must have equal justice. Thank you, Mr. Ben Crump. Number three, everybody must have economic inclusion. Thank you, Jamie Dimon and J.P. Morgan Chase, for your $30 billion commitment to the black community. And number four, everybody must have environmental protection. One of the main reasons why I bought the Weather Channel was to lead and help get that conversation moved along. And number five, empathy. We must, as a country, address the homeless, food insecurity, and the mental illness epidemic. And when we master these 5 E's, as the Bible has taught us, love thy neighbor, we can achieve one America. And when we achieve one America, we can have a slice of heaven right here on earth. So tonight, we are celebrating black excellence and the champions outside of our community who truly support us in reaffirming our commitment to what Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr. taught us. We will not stop until we achieve what we all deserve, one America. Thank you for your excellence.
Could you hear that okay? Anyone? I sure hope so. Any comments?
Yeah, loud and clear, Father Nick.
Thank you. Any comments? Thank you, Marcus.
Informative.
I did not know he purchased the Weather Channel. And when he mentioned Robert E. Smith, I believe he is the gentleman who paid off all of the student loan debt for the HBCU, historically black, HBUs, right? And which is, that whole college tuition thing confuses me a little bit in certain fields like education and healthcare. We need educators and we need quality healthcare providers. It should be the duty of our country to educate people in those specific areas, in my opinion, so that we have what we need in place. Yeah, imagine if, as it's happening now, because now, so here's how it works with me, right? I come up with ideas, like the one I just mentioned, which I had been saying since the 90s, and eventually these things happen. But when I say I come up with ideas, like I always say again, it's bigger than us, and so I know my idea, the thought, is coming from the Creator. But I just talk about it. People get ideas and thoughts and they don't talk about them. I talk about them when I get them. And I had been saying since the 90s just that. Well, now they're actually offering many of the universities free education for healthcare, for nurses and for physicians. Free education, because that's how bad they need people in that industry, especially after the pandemic. And not because they pass away, but from what I'm understanding, is because they pass on the policy. There was a little bit of confusion that went on. And it's very interesting. It's interesting. I had said the same thing again back in the 90s that, well, I said this when I was about 12 at first, when it came to the VA hospital. My brain couldn't understand why you get sick in that field while you're active, but then you can only use them to get better. I couldn't understand it. That was in the 90s. And nope, that was in the 70s. And then in the 90s, mid to late 90s, they finally opened up health care, I think it's called TRICARE now, where veterans could seek medical attention outside of the VA hospital facility. So I calculated it back then when it happened. I said it took them 42 years to hear my idea. You know, like, who's not listening? But I get ideas, I receive ideas, and I appreciate them, and even more when they come to fruition. And it's not me. It's not me. I am not a know-it-all. I am a hear-it-all, and then say-it-all. That's who I am. I'm a hear-it-all, then say-it-all. And I take credit for just keeping my ears clean and hopefully being able to share the information that I do hear accurately. I was speaking to someone the other day, and I mentioned that there are people who think that I know everything, like I'm a know-it-all. So to that, they shut down or shut me out, one or the other. And I always say I'm an appetizer. You know, don't be strongly influenced by the little bit I know, because I do not ever profess to know it all. The one thing I know completely is how to spell my name. I know how to spell my name. And I recently learned that my name, the way my mother changed it from what she originally saw my name as Evadyne, Evadne, and she added the Y and accented the E, so it's Evadyne, and then an accent over the E to make it Evadyne. But 20 years before I was born, the pharmaceutical industry created an antidepressant medication, and it's spelled the same way that she spells my name. She never knew that, and when I found out, I said, oh, you know what they say, the cliche, right? It's all in the name. It's all in the name. And we are so connected spiritually. We all are. Some people disconnect the wire, but we all are connected spiritually to our Creator. And we move in the direction that we move in. Some people pay attention to it, and some people do not. They don't pay attention to why they did what they did the way they did it. They just did what they did and moved on. But as well as keeping my ears clean and listening and being able to thankfully speak it, I actually keep my eyes wide open for observation of the things that happen, just like today when I was thinking about what to talk about. And Tommy sent me the video, so thank you, Tommy, if you're listening. It was appropriate. It was just very appropriate. So the one that I played is from 2022 Griot Awards, which I've never watched them, and I bet I will today, catch up on them. This is going to be the video from the 2023 Griot Awards. And very similar, but that's okay. So are my two books. I call my two books Siamese twins. And they are. They're connected. They're involved. They are worthy of being read. Come on. Where'd you go? I'm waiting for one. How many of you, just as I wait for it to come in, and it doesn't want to come in, how many of you ever watched Barney Miller, the sitcom from the 70s, set in a police precinct? I think the 12th precinct?
I remember that.
Say it again?
I remember that show.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I love it. They're very funny. What did you think of it, if you remember it well?
It was well, the one thing that I remember about it is, okay, they were all detectives, so they weren't uniformed officers. But they had different ethnicities in that one, I guess, office, and different cultures represented on that show. So it wasn't just one ethnicity, one culture. It was a melting pot on that show.
You make me sick, Marcus. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm
you're
sorry.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. I realized that yesterday while I was working, and I was talking to a customer about it, and it dawned on me their office was an international office. German, Polish, Japanese, Italian, Black, African American, Hispanic, when Freddie Prinze came on, right? And then I guess Caucasian, European, white, Caucasian, Hal Linden. It was like, oh my God. But you're absolutely, I never noticed it while I was watching it. I mean, of course I knew that they were all from different places, but I never put it together like I did yesterday. And that's, my eyes wide open. And it came to me, did you have something else to say, Marcus?
Oh, no, I'm listening.
It came to me that my travel business, I am going to build an international team. I'm going to name it accordingly as well as my team builds, because as I've been trying to speak to people, I've come across people from Haiti and people from DR, and I said to myself, and this is when? 2 weeks ago, I had said to myself, because I remember when I went into the Haitian restaurant, I was like, okay, she didn't speak English, but the gentleman was kind of translating for us. And I said, I'm going to get my nephew to build his downline any way he wants, but definitely bilingual with Creole. And then, so I said I was going to build an international team. So when I was listening to Barney Miller yesterday, and my customers were listening, I was explaining it to them, and I realized, wait, they have an international office, and that's that ding. That's that aha moment where it all makes sense. For me, it was confirmation that my idea to build an international team, like directly focusing on doing that, it made sense. And that was just my whipped cream on top of my hot chocolate when I realized that was happening in a show that I loved from the 70s. They are so hilarious. But let me tell you one thing about their shows. I was watching it in mind you, this is a funny, a 1970s sitcom, right? It's called Barney Miller. If you're listening and you've never watched it and you need a good laugh.
Yep, that was my favorite show.
I'm telling you, Thursday nights, I watch them. And so I said, okay, I'm watching it in 2017 or 2018, and during that week, the MTA had announced, and they probably had done it before, but I remember them announcing that they had released this gas down in the subway system. Can't laugh at these people, though. They had released this gas in the subway system because they wanted to track how it flowed. Now, first of all, simple science says you can track how it flows, but do know it's not going to stay underground, right? It's going to come up as well. But anyway, 2 days later, my day off, I'm watching Barney Miller, and, of course, reruns. Thank you very much. I didn't go back in time. It would be nice. And they have brought a guy into the precinct. He had on his trench coat, and he was ranting and raving. I think they had picked him up from Times Square. He was ranting and raving about how they were letting gases out in the subway, and they're poisoning us. So, you know, my ears, my eyes, and my nose perked up, right? And I'm like, what did he just say? So this is what, 30 years later almost? And so he had this newspaper clipping in his inside pocket. He said, see, they show it right here. They releasing this gas, and this gas is going to kill us. And I'm thinking, oh, my goodness. We just don't understand the bigger than us, some of us, where these writers are being given information to deliver to the herd, quote unquote. That's a joke, but to the people, you know, we're being given so much information in the music. Michael Jackson, I don't know if anybody saw that or heard that This Is It CD, well, it was a DVD, when the concert that he was building for when he transitioned, maybe. And here we go, you bought a name. And when I watched it, again, eyes wide open, nose, ears, that concert was going to start a movement. I'm sorry, what was the title of that concert? This is it.
This is it.
Not by accident. That concert was going to start the George Floyd outcry to the nth degree. It was going to wake up folks. It was going to shake up folks. Folks were going to get busy. That concert was not allowed to happen.
Okay.
Not allowed to happen. But that's the artistry. That's the openness and awareness and awakeness. And not everybody's meant to do the same things in this world. That's why we all come with our gifts, with our talents, with our abilities. And if people don't hold you down, parents, quote unquote, but they don't mean no harm sometimes, you know. No one's, well, the lessons are not very clear that when you become a parent, it is apparent that you aren't supposed to control. You're supposed to guide and support and nurture and feed and clothe, because we arrive who we are supposed to be. We arrive packing, loaded. But we're not taught that at all, so that when we become parents, we do what our parents have done. Now, for parents, if you come from parenting that was open and clear and knowing, then you may parent that same way. But if you came from parents who were structured and who believed they were the wiser ones, then you were kind of directed and controlled. And like Adrian said, listen to the young people. I have it in my books. I'm like, if you think that that young person does not know the things you don't know, give them your device and just watch. Young people, and I mean young people, will do with those devices what you did not know could be done. And no one taught them. We come packing. We come fully loaded. And I believe that children who are born with, well, can't even say born with it. So children who, some are born with diagnosis of disorders, and those who then get disorders as a result of the agenda makers and their, mandatory, I can't even say options, their mandatory direction, then the children become, unfortunately, victims of disorders. There's no other way to say that. But a lot of these children are brilliant. And again, they're brilliant, right? And again, there are no instructions for parents to say, my child is not challenged. The challenge is the adults don't know how to handle it. The adults don't know how to teach them. They are so far more advanced than the adults because, unfortunately, the adults are not taught. We are not taught these things. I'm going to call that education disenfranchisement, right? Because I remember going to this office and the lady, I had given them my book, and I asked her how, had they read it and what they thought about it. It had been like 6 or 7 months. And she told me that her son wanted to read the book. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. She said, but I want to finish it first. So I said, okay. Her son, who was about 7, went through the photo albums on his grandmother's table and named everybody in the photo album who had already transitioned long before he was born. He named everyone. What I appreciated the most about the mom is that she clearly understood it is what it is. That he didn't need to go see a psychiatrist. He didn't need to go, into therapy. He didn't need medication. It is what it is. Because it's bigger than us. And we come loaded. We just don't have the guidance on how to unload. Oh, that's nice, right? Oh, sorry. We come loaded. And not just him. I believe that schizophrenia is when your brain is too powerful. I shouldn't say too, because that sounds like it's something wrong. Your brain is more powerful, more electrically connected than many other people, and people don't know how to handle it. So they label you.
Call it a disorder.
Yeah, they label you. And then they treat you. And when they start treating you with what they do, I love when we don't really know exactly what this is, but take that. Take it for life. If you don't know what it is, what are you giving me? And I don't fault that professional because, unfortunately, they're doing what they were taught. It goes back to that controlling, They're doing what they were taught. I mentioned it before, and I mentioned it again. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick?
You're hitting on something that I have been jumping around and saying for years, working with children, especially children in the mental health field. And these children are not mentally ill. They're extremely bright. And they'll say things that make you say, what made him say that? His brain is just working. And one of the psychiatrists actually said his problem is that his brain is bigger than his age, and he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand how to decipher what this means and what that means. But I get it. I know that it's different. And, at 4 years old, I know this is different, but I can't explain it exactly. And if he does explain it exactly, who told you? It couldn't have came out of your head, And that's what I observed in working with young children. My niece, when she was born, she just came out of the womb, and her father was there, and her father said something, something that she looks like me or something like that, and she, as an infant, just came out of the womb. Her head turned, and she looked right at him, like, what you just said? And everybody laughed at that. And the running joke now she's 35, but people are still saying, you came out grown, because you turned around and looked at your dad like, you talking to me? But I do believe that children come out knowing things, and as adults, we don't know how to deal with it, so we'll just say it's a disorder, or, oh, no, that's just a fluke, that she turned around and looked at him. All the other people were in the room, but he's the only one that she turned around and looked at when he spoke, Yes.
And, boy, I would love to meet her. So my grandson, when he was born.
She's actually been on my podcast before.
Listen, see, if we don't start acknowledging and expressing our gifts, then they will go with us. And many of those beyond us will never know either. And it's not about talking about you, it's sharing the ability. And people can call it what they want, but, they can use a dime or a quarter in the payphone if they want to call it what they want. No refund. But you can't ignore it. My grandson was sleeping, and he was born in April. This was in July. So he was about 3 months, 4 months. So he was laying there, and he would always, when awake, he would always look up into one corner of the bedroom, and he'd be just talking. One corner. So I said, okay, So this day when he was sleeping, I just looked at him because he was a gorgeous baby. I mean, like picture perfect. And I said, I would whisper, I just need you to be a good person. I would whisper that in his ear. Because your looks could get you everywhere. But if you're not a good person, it's a temporary find. And it may not be the best place. And I just always whisper that in his ear. I just need you to be a good person. But this one day, I said to myself, not out loud. When I say I said to myself, it was a thought. I wonder what babies dream about. He was asleep. He turned and looked at me and he said, and turned back over with his head. He was asleep. And I said, oh, okay. Now, the same thing is happening to us today. I don't know if any of you have noticed that. But you could be thinking something and then pick up your device, and it's right there on your device, and you haven't said a word or touched anything. But with him, I was like, oh, okay. But in that apartment, whatever he was communicating with up in that one corner, I would see them throughout the house. And I remember one day I was by the kitchen sink, and they passed the door, and I said, hey, 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 right? Didn't wait for them to come back. I said, we can all coexist. Just don't bother that baby. That's what I said to them. I acknowledged them. I saw them. I knew they were there in spirit, whoever they were. But that was that threw me, that one. I wonder what babies dream about. And he was like, and turned right back over. I said, okay, I guess whatever it is, it must have been funny. But we come packed. We come so ready for a song, right, Adrienne? Ready for the world. We come so ready for the world. And I was at an event the other day. We're going to get to Byron in a minute. He's on hold. I have him, queued up, kind of, sort of-ish. But I was at an event the other day. It was a women empowerment and astrology meeting. No, not meeting, but event. And the astrologist explained that 3 months before we are conceived, we are already in the making. 3 months before the two people come together and make it happen, the plans are already in place. I was like, okay. That was new. That was interesting. But all things are possible. All things are possible. So just a second, I'm going to go to the Byron. Now, this is from the 2023. I played the 2022. And the one thing we know, repetition is not bad as long as it's moving toward good. Because sometimes you need to hear things. Well, you do, actually. Some people. The routing system in China, they teach in a routing system. So they repeat it, it's either 13 times or 17 times. They say it's what's necessary for it to get to your subconscious one time. And I don't know any of you very well, but I don't remember my teacher saying it 13 times. I don't remember my teacher saying it 10 times, and if we got to say it 2 times, that was good. But that's why, and here's that thing again. I was driving Accessoride, and me and the lady, we were talking, and I said, I wonder why the specialized schools, Brooklyn Tech, Stuyvesant, always have a high population of Asians. Like, why? So the next person I picked up while we were having a conversation was an Asian Baruch College student. See, this is how I pay attention. This is how, my universe kind of works with me. And so I said, okay, so here's the conversation we're having. And that's who told me how they are taught, how they study over and one thing, over and over and over and over and over again. So it gets into the subconscious one time. I was like, wow. So I heard 13, and then I heard 17. So that's why I say both, because, well, heck, once you pass 13, if you get to 17, you know it really made it through the door. But I was like, it kind of makes sense, but I just don't remember no teacher telling it to us that many times. But that's why I also say, and maybe without another pandemic, they may do this, I feel that all lessons in class from kindergarten to 12th grade should be on video, whether it's the exact classroom or, you remember teachers used to do lesson plans, and then they had, what was that, professional development days and all that other stuff, right? So either it's every classroom so that the parent, because the parent can't help if they don't know, and the student, if they didn't get it the first time, can't get it again. And, of course, now we have YouTube that can show you as well. But I feel that all the lesson plans should be recorded so that the student could see it again. And sometimes it's not that the student couldn't learn. Sometimes it's the teacher. It's about a connection. Even though other people may get it, and someone else could show you that same thing. And just by the way they're speaking it and explaining it, you could get it. Or because it's the second or third time. So you missed the step, you missed the understanding, you missed the point, but now you're getting it. And, of course, if it's online, you can rewind and rewind. I don't know what they call it in today's technology, but you can just go back and, just, replay. Thank you very much. I heard that out loud. You could just replay it until you get it. But I really feel that all the lessons should be on video. The districts should do that. At the top of the year, all the lessons should be there, so that the student could get it, so that the parent could get it. I'm sorry, if they're looking for success. If they're looking for success. But we are. Whether they are or not, we are looking for success. So, yes, it should be there. And like you were saying, Adrienne, also, my niece was 3 years old, and she was reading Cosmopolitan magazine cover to cover, not looking at the pictures. She was reading Cosmopolitan cover to cover. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's God, how old is this child? Maybe 3 or 4. I don't think this child is 5. On TikTok, I think, doing math. Like not only just doing it, but explaining step by step, getting to the numbers and figuring them out. We are powerful people. Humans. White, black, orange, purple. We are powerful. If other folks would, for 2 sets of folks, one set should get out of the way, and the other set should support us. That's what I think. I want to play the Byron Allen 2023 Griot. Bear with us.
Under attack. At this time, 44 states are debating which black history to teach. Let's talk about the truth. The truth is, black America is under attack. At this time, 44 states are debating which black history to teach. They're downplaying our contributions to this beautiful country and changing our narrative and diminishing our images. Unfortunately, we have seen this before. You erase the truth so you can repeat the atrocities again. That's why I've dedicated my life to building one of the world's biggest media companies, simply because we must tell our own stories, keep control of the narrative and our images. Representation matters.
Amen. Amen.
When we see positive images of ourselves, it lifts our spirits. You cannot be what you cannot see.
Amen.
Tonight, let's bring the truth. Here's one. Slavery did not benefit black people.
Amen. Amen.
It's one of the worst crimes committed against humanity. Here's another truth. Unfortunately, too many Americans are struggling to succeed. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, gay Americans, Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, single mothers, and white Americans. We're all positioned to succeed when everyone can benefit from the riches of America. And when we do that, we are one and we can compete in this global society. Here's some more truth. The greatest trade deficit in America is the trade deficit between white corporate America and black America. And as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. taught us, we cannot survive with 2 Americas. We must achieve 1 America. We cannot have 1 America until we deal with the truth. So here is the truth. America, you are killing black America in the classroom by making sure we do not get a proper education. You're killing us in the courtroom by making sure we do not have equal justice. You're killing us in the boardroom by making sure that we do not get real economic inclusion. And you're killing us in the hospital room by making sure that we do not have proper health care. And you're doing all of this long before you kill us in the streets. More truth. If we do not close the education gap, we cannot close the wealth gap. I can tell you where Black America will be 40 years from now with one simple data point. What is the Black student population of the top 50 universities white corporate America recruits from? If it remains under 1 or 2%, as opposed to where it should be, proportionate with the Black population, approximately 14%, then nothing will change in Black America. And America will never realize its fullest potential. When you come to my office, when you get off the elevator, there's a sign that says, there isn't a bank in the world where I can deposit excuses, so I don't accept them.
Now that's deep.
America, we can no longer accept your excuses. So I'm asking America to understand, appreciate, and accept the truth that the Black community is one of America's greatest assets and not a liability.
Amen.
Our contributions are enormous. It's impossible for America to be the wealthiest country in the world without the contributions of Black America. Our partnership going forward needs to be more respectful, inclusive, and balanced. Now, for all the young people out there, my wish is for you to recognize yourself in these extraordinary icons. We want to inspire you to cultivate your own talents, self-determination, and encourage the greatness that lives inside each of you.
Amen.
In this room, on this stage, or wherever you are, remember one thing. You are one of the most valuable assets we have. We need you. Your contributions make us stronger. To create the positive change we all need and deserve, your voice must be heard. With you, we can achieve one America. And when we achieve one America, we will achieve one race, the human race.
Young people, you gotta know you matter. You matter.
And never forget what Harriet Tubman taught us. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. We will see you at the top. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much for listening. You do know that wasn't me. There's a sign there. But any comments? Okay. I'm glad you could hear it clearly. It was on the same volume pitch as the last one. And he's making so much sense. At any point in time, you can speak. So in thinking about what yes, I can now.
Okay. I was getting ready to say, absolutely, he's making perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize who you are, and it's important that people get behind that to make sure that we know who we are, that we are very valuable, and we are now, and we were then, and we will always be, and get behind that concept so that we can continue to encourage our young people and let them know that they are awesome. You know what I'm saying? That they are second to none. I believe that is definitely necessary, and the fact that he said he have his own broadcasting system because he wants to make sure that the message goes forward means that people really need to think about how they can take action and make this happen. Like you said, we all have a part. We're not to do the same thing, but we all have purpose, and we need to find out what that purpose is. For us to secure our people, is definitely something that we all can find a way to help to do. So it's very important. So awesome video. Thanks for playing it.
You're welcome. Thank you. And the other one that you missed, he spoke about empathy. I don't know if you were on then. He said we need more empathy for the homeless, for our children, for our seniors. He may not have said that, but there needs to be more empathy in the world. And I love the video, the empathy video that you played on your show. So you can also, if you feel up to it, announce your show. And today is about giving gifts, and the gifts are tangible and or information, inspiration, motivation. I spoke about what would you say to parents, what would you say to our young teenagers, but anyone that you want to share some information, some insight and wisdom with, because we never know who's listening. And what I say is that sometimes you hear it once and it kind of lands. You might need to hear it 3 or 4 times before you're actually ready to pick it up and take it. So we could never hear valuable information enough. So if you like to.
Yes. I wouldn't. I think somebody's trying to say something, but if they're not, I will go forward. All right. So what I was going to say is, the empathy is definitely something that we definitely need, and still, I'll try to get you the other original video that I wanted to show. But in that original video that I was trying to show about empathy, it was very important because what it did was it took teenagers from different parts of the world that were in a situation where their parents had so much hatred and stuff and bitterness and so much against the other countries that, our children are innocent and they have to be taught to dislike and hate and things of that nature. But those children would normally be against each other, so they took them to a particular summer camp and they were able to put themselves in the other person's shoes and hear their story. And with that, they were able to learn and have compassion, to sympathize and have empathy for the other persons. And what happened was they grew a bond together, and they were able to mentor other children that were coming. So it's important that we get together and try to undo some of the things that were done all of the things that were done negatively, and I was saying a lot of times what people fail to realize is that because of all the things that we've been through our past, we do understand why our parents, foreparents, and those down the line before us felt the way they feel. But we have to understand that in order for us to make it a better place, this world, that we can't hold that and harbor that within us. We have to have that forgiveness within us, and we have to try to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes and try to make it better. We talking about history a lot of times, and I hear them saying it's important for us to learn our history. It's important for everybody to learn all history. We need to know it all, good, bad, and ugly, indifferent. It doesn't matter. We need to get a full picture so we can know what happened, and with that going on, we have a lot of people that feel hurt behind the things that happened in the past, all of that slavery, and that's in both races, and some people are embarrassed and hurt on both sides. And so this is why we need to learn the history. We don't want history, like you said, to repeat itself. And so lack of knowledge can cause like the like the man in the video said, and we have said so many times, for us to repeat the same thing, unknowing that we are repeating the same thing. So it's important for us to know who we are. And I always let people know, according to the Word of God, because I am a Christian, it says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are God's masterpieces. We are the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. And so that lets you know somewhat about how awesome you are in the sight of our Creator alone. And hopefully with the parents and the environment and the schooling that they teach them. But like I said to someone else, it's important for us to do the self-care, the affirmations, to learn who we are and say those things to ourselves every day and let us know that I am wonderful, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I have what it takes. And, I can do all things. Whatever I need to do, I can do it, and I'm victorious, I'm successful. So the things that we need to hear and know to be able to move forward and be successful, we need to say those things to ourselves every day. We need to learn where we came from, and we need to learn how to handle where we are and learn how to move forward successfully and effectively. So I do appreciate what you're talking about today. No matter how different we all are here for a purpose and a cause, and we were born with what we need within us. We were born with the tools that we need. So even if it's a challenge for us, we still have what we need. We just have to learn how to maneuver with what we have. And we know how, and that makes a big difference. So to anybody that's listening, know that you're awesome, you're wonderful, a masterpiece, that you can do all things. Anything you need to do, you can do it. And sometimes it just takes a little time to research and study, but figure it out, And that's the beautiful thing, like you said, about all this technology. You can pick up the phone. You can tap into Google. Sometimes I ask Alexa for the definitions. Whatever way you have to get your information, that's how you have to get your information. But every day it's important that you take time to learn more about who you are, where you are, what you need to do, and just gravitate to the things that are positive and necessary and how to build those things. So thank you, Evadyne. I appreciate the talk.
You're welcome. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to say at this point? Any comments on the information that was shared in the video? Any bits of information you like to share with the world? Because the world is always listening. I'm just saying. Okay, all right. So just to go back again, we are on Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself, Progressive Podcast Network. You can reach us and for the live shows by calling in to 520-525-8633. You can call into that number 24 hours a day, believe it or not, 24 hours a day. It does not mean that anybody's going to be on, but you can call in and listen to the entire show lineup. And, again, if you call in, you might be told to announce yourself. Please don't. The host will know that someone has come in because, again, we're hearing a ding. So when the floor is open, when the host says, anybody have anything to say, that'll then be your turn. If you happen to have any background noise or you're in an area, background, let me say it correct. If there happens to be anything going on in your background so that it doesn't come in through to the show, can you please *6 to mute yourself? We appreciate that. And then when you're ready to speak, *6 and unmute yourself. Today, following my show, which is Monday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is my show, we have the King's Roundtable, and it's open to everyone. Normally the King's Roundtable is a men-only, brothers-only support show. But today it's open to not only the ladies, but you're being asked to bring young men, maybe young people, but young men, The young ones. Let me say that. You're asked to bring the young ones. Under 16, they should come with a parent or guardian. And older, they just come as you are and come to get a lot of information. It's hosted by Leon. So today is the last Monday of the month. The other Mondays, we have Slot Time with Star. Again, a very powerful show. We have all powerful shows. All of our shows have great value, and you can actually catch them on the rebroadcast on our YouTube. It's Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself. You'll know you're on the right page because you're going to see that hot mic. The mic is on fire. I know you haven't noticed that today, but we are all on fire. So it's a good thing, though. It's a good fire. It's a heat, like putting heat up under you to make you go, ooh, let me go do something. Exactly, that kind of fire. That kind of fire. But come on board. Every morning at 7 a.m., we have a prayer line. And on Tuesdays, so today is Monday, on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., we have Grace Space with Jada, Deborah, and Karen. And following her show at 6 p.m., her show, Grace Space, 6 p.m. And then we have at 7:30 p.m., the Pink Sofa Talk with Carol Lucille. And the first and third Tuesdays are ladies only. But every Tuesday, aside from that, is welcome everyone, male, female, young people. Great information again. We have shows 7 days a week. So please, come back. You can also log in online to huddle.team/grownfolk or huddle.team meeting ID Grown Folk. No S on the end and all one word, GROWNFOLK. We're here. We're here. It's a beautiful thing. So here's my gift to the world. Okay, you couldn't see that. That was me. No, I'm only kidding. So what I'd like to do is speak about this gift-giving season. I have spoken to several people who have children, and they said to me they are not giving tangible, hold it in your hand, toys, gifts. They're giving their children experiences. They are giving their children travel, vacations, priceless, super memorable, and you can't take it back. No refund, right? You can't take it back. I had these conversations with them when I was introducing them to a travel business that I'm a part of. We sell online travel agencies. Who would buy an online travel agency? I don't know. Who's buying travel online? Exactly. Many people are booking their own travel online to go where they want to go. I say as long as we have Earth, people are going to be traveling. So as a business, it is a great opportunity. You sell the agencies, you build a team. As I mentioned, my team is going to be an international team because I don't parler francés and my español poquito, but I'm good with English. But my English says when I have someone who's bilingual and they speak clear English and other languages, I'm going to build that language, that community up under them so that they will be able to communicate effectively, clearly to that whole line and get paid on it, which is fine, right? So I'm building an international team. 2 positions in this company. You're either going to sell the agencies and or build a team as a surge business associate, or you're going to buy the travel agency. Does that mean that you have to actually sit at a desk and book people's travel? Nope. You have the opportunity to give people what they're doing anyway, which is booking online through a link, through a site. You can give them a travel site that belongs to you where they can go and book discount travel. They can shop at any store. Since it's gift-giving time, they're going to shop online anyway. So instead of shopping with Amazon or directly with the company, they can shop with you or through the link that you give them. How does that benefit you? So I'm very funny with business. I never want to get paid because you paid more so that I could get paid. What I love about this company, we get paid on what the customer saves. It starts at 60% commission and goes up to 80% commission. We get paid on what they save. I sleep very well with that concept. One, they're saving. Two, I'm still earning, and it's passive. It's great for organizations and associations. So when it comes to fundraising, the fish fries are cute, but they're one time. And the person literally has to come through your door, or somebody has to deliver it, one or the other. With virtual fundraisers, your outreach is nationwide and in some cases global. So you can use it as a fundraiser. It's excellent for churches, and what I suggest to the church organization is that when you make the decision to utilize this, or any fundraiser, anything that you're going to do, you decide what percentage goes to what committee. Because there's so many committees under churches, you want everyone to know that their efforts are being treated and directed wisely. Kind of unlike the lottery. They say the money's going to our school system. I can't wait to see the budget and see exactly where they're sending the money, but that's a whole other story. Transparency, let the organization make the decision, what percentage goes to each group, and let it roll from there. Everybody, Oprah and Ellen, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. You can give out those travel portals, those travel links to everybody you know. Happy holiday. Take that. Smile. But you're giving them something that's valuable, right? You can also purchase discount vacation certificates, their accommodation certificates. You can purchase them as a travel agent, and you can give people experiences. You can give them 7 days at a resort, not a timeshare, which I love anyway, but not a timeshare. And it's all business. We can change our economic status with the things that are before us. With the things that are before us. Avon, Tupperware, Mary Kay, there are people who have been in those organizations for 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, and they're their children. Why? Because they're reputable, because they pay, because you have time, flexibility, and all of these things are with this travel agency also. Again, as long as we have Earth, people are going to travel. As long as we have Earth, people are going to travel. And if they have enough money, they can travel away from Earth, from what I'm understanding at this point. So the travel business is a wonderful business. Whenever you're listening to this, I just want you to go to networkingforsuccess.info/travel-sales or networkingforsuccess.info and click on the travel site. It says travel sales. Click on that. You'll get an information video, or you can go directly to the website, get signed up. We're here to help. Absolute training. Do people need help sharing with people information that's going to be useful? Not really. But I say we're there. We're there. Like I say, I'm going to build an international team, which means as people come in speaking another language, as long as I am coming in contact with them, they're going to be in the downline of the person who speaks their language. Does it hurt me? Not at all, because they're in my downline too. People call it pyramids, and I say you don't know one pyramid that has crumbled. Watch your mouth. I give them an example of a business, McDonald's. One started, and now if you diagram that one at the top and stretch it out as far as McDonald's has stretched, it's shaped in a triangular fashion. Money pyramids, well, if you're going into a money pyramid because you think you're going to come out super rich and you don't happen to get paid, that's a gamble. If you go back to the store in the corner and say, all the money I spent on lottery, I want it back, well, then, it's all a gamble. You just want the best outcome, but it doesn't always happen. But you can't blame everybody for everything, and you can't put everything into the same nutshell. So this is a great business. I strongly advise you to just go pick up your device right now. I'll wait. Go to networkingforsuccess.info. There you go. Click on travel sales. There's a video there. See? Right there. Scroll down. You'll actually see the website, surge365.com/why not you. Why not you? So, it's been my absolute pleasure. Please, while you're on Networking for Success, go to the promo site and get the books. The books are excellent. They could be used for fundraisers as well. The ebook promotion, 2 ebooks for $5, book number 1, book number 2. The book is actually being considered to be used at Stony Brook. I'm excited about that. That's the second one. Mind is to mental, as teeth are to dental, and we all have a mind. And I like the way people try to get me to explain that 2 and 2. The 2 is what it is also. So mind is also mental, as teeth are also dental, right? Your state of mind gets you transferred to the mental department. Your state of teeth gets you transferred to the dental department. But in the end, we all have a mind. And as I recommend to people, get a therapist while you're in your best state of mind. This person will become your friend. They know you. You don't have to see them once a week. You can see them once every 2 months, once every 3 months, but just see them. Professionals see therapists. Therapists see therapists. You have to, because life is life. But I recommend seeing a therapist and getting one while you're in your best state of mind, because you can make the best decision about who appreciates, knows, and understands you. So that if a curveball ever comes your way in life, you have somebody who knows you at your best, so they would be the best person to help you get back to your best. So that is my recommendation. Is there anything anyone else has to say today? Any questions? Any comments? I hope your holiday was great. If you all talked about, God, we need more money in this family, well, I just gave you that. Hold on. That's opportunity knocking. I just gave you a wonderful family business. And for the record, when it comes to purchasing the travel agencies, 4 people can operate one agency. So if it's you and your sisters, your cousins, your mom, I always say parents first. That's what I say too, right? Parents should come in first, and the children should come in under them. Why? Because then the children are building and supporting financially the parent passively while they do what they do. Because we know those young people are going to do what they do. We can't stop them. So that's what I say.
Well, I would like to just announce my show, Positive Impact, on Sundays at 7 p.m., where we play gospel selections, and we encourage each other to make sure that each person has a very positive, uplifting experience. We had a very serious conversation on Sunday, turned out really good. You never know who comes on and who needs encouragement and encouragement from others. Never know who may be going through whatever, or someone may be coming on to share their story that can also help you. So I just want to invite people, and also I've been on Saturdays at 2 o'clock. And we talked about how to know whether you're in an abusive relationship or have an abusive partner, and that turned out very well. So we have a lot, like you said, a lot of good shows, all good shows here on Grown Folk Talking. And people really need to come on and chime in. And also, we're moving forward with the Organization of Unity and Empowerment, and that's really good. We have a public service announcement coming up that we will be posting, and we're just moving forward. And also with Love Ministries, so we also have the public service announcement and commercial coming up. And so both of these organizations are to help people. And Organization of Unity and Empowerment is for our veterans and our youth and our community, and affordable housing. So what we have for our motto is assessing the needs of our community and helping to find a solution. And I know, Evadyne, that's one of the things that you really are geared on, finding solutions, which is a wonderful thing. And we all need to be geared on that. And Love Ministries, it's about community and building and helping those that are broken. And our motto is to let love lead. So in the future, you'll be seeing these things posted on our YouTube page and different places. But I just want people to know to just chime in, like you said earlier, because as I expressed so many times to so many people, we do have definitely a lot of what you're looking for here on Grown Folk Talking. You know, so you just have to chime in, like you said, 24 hours a day. No guarantee that someone's going to be on that time, but you can always get the lineup and find out what's the best time, what's the show that you're interested into coming on to and listening in and chiming in, and also sharing your experience and your expertise, because we all grow together on Grown Folk. Thank you, Evadyne.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Well, now, that's that. So, since we have the bell back, I'd like to sing a song. You may go off the line if you don't want to hear the song, but I'll just tell it. Excuse me? I'm sorry. No, really, you may hang up. Who's that laugh? Marcus, is that you? Okay. So, here's the song. I'm sorry, does someone have something to say before I begin? Okay.
Me, Evadyne.
Was that you laughing at me?
No.
Right.
Nope.
You're not supposed to laugh until the song is done.
Somebody else is giving me credit. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Well, Adrienne started this. I'm just going to let y'all know. She started it with the music and the songs and all of that other wonderful stuff. So here we go. One less bell to answer. One less egg to fry. One less man to pick up after. I should be happy, but all I do is cry. Oh, I should be happy. I only know that since he left, my life's so empty. Though I try to forget him, it just can't be done. Each time the doorbell rings, I still run. I don't know why in the world to stop thinking of him, 'cause I still love him so. I end each day the way I start out, crying my heart out. And just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, that will never happen to me. I just thought I'd share that bell song. So I thank you all for listening to Evadyne with Company, talk worth listening to. And we still have the bells. I know, it could have been the bells.
So are we going to get you to do that on Wednesday night?
What's happening on Wednesday night? Who's that?
The CCC in the house.
Wednesday night, there's going to be a showdown in the whole down.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get you to do that on Wednesday night.
Well, if you know, whatever's necessary. Whatever carries the talk along, you know.
Well, we definitely
Thank
miss
you all. Hold on one second. Okay. Evadyne with Company, Talk Worth Listening to CCC. Announce your show, please.
Well, this is Hamp, and we are the CCC. We come on Wednesday nights at 8:30, 7:30 your time. And the topic this week is, I'm not sure. We have a enlisted soldier doing the topic this week. And I haven't had a chance to catch up with him yet, but he does know he's up for it. But either way, we're going to be in for a treat either way it goes.
That's
so
right.
We always have fun online.
Shows
so
are always
please join in.
Yeah. So that's Wednesday at 8:30.
At 8:30.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and that is 9:30 your time?
Yeah, no, it's 8:30 my time. It's 9:30 your time.
Oh, okay. So 9:30 Eastern Standard, and then 8:30 that's Central Time. Then is that Central?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
8:30 Central. Okay. All right. We're gonna be there. I thank you for being here. Anyone else have anything to? Oh wait. So Hamp.
Yes.
The talk tonight was it was kind of like giving gifts, but the gift, it doesn't have to be tangible. Words of wisdom. We talked about what would you share with a parent, what would you share with a teenager, a young teenager, because on these shows and in life we're always imparting information. It's valuable information. Not always for the person receiving it, but luckily they're receiving it, so then they can go and deliver it to others. So what would you like to share?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is being ex-high law or retired law enforcement. The biggest thing I would share is, being kind to each other as well as yourself. Treat one another like you would want someone to treat you. And in doing that, you'll find that things across the board will be a whole lot easier, and the world will be a better place for those who choose to live in it. Now, I do realize all the time everybody is not going to be on that same sheet of music or on that page that you're on. But sometimes you just have to overlook things and continue to do what you do in order to make it around. Keep God first.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Evadyne, what was the announcement for Wednesday?
Hamp?
Hello?
Hamp, that's Leon. So Hamp, that's Leon and Leon's show. Go ahead. Well, the two of you talk for a minute.
I just wanted to know what your announcement was, Hamp. I didn't get to hear it.
Oh, my announcement was just announcing the show on Wednesday.
Okay.
At 8:30, 9:30 your time.
Okay.
And so, Hamp, Leon's show today is open to everyone, so let the ladies on your end know. And also to bring young people, if you have a way of reaching out to the young people that you work with. Leon, is it males and females, young people?
Yes, males and females. Here's the thing, Hamp. 16 and above is welcome. 15 and down have to bring their parents on because of what the topic is going to be.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to come on when they come on, that's fine. But a grown-up has to come on with the 15 and down, and I think it's important when we're speaking and talking to the kids to engage their parents also.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
I can definitely let that be known.
Yes, please do.
That's it this evening, and 6:45 they can log in.
They can start logging in at 20 of and quarter of. The show's going to start at 10 of.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for all the participation in tonight's show, this evening's show. If you missed Byron Allen's griot speech, please find it on YouTube. Byron Allen, he gave a very powerful, I feel it was a very powerful speech, and I was given the 2023 link today as I was thinking about what to talk about today, and it fit right in, so that was very interesting without even asking. The universe hears me thinking and speaking. And then I also pulled up the 2022 speech with Byron Allen. Very powerful, and I think we could all jump on his bandwagon with our wagons, and it's going to be just a power train, you know, because we're all building in that same direction from wherever level we are at. But yeah, that's another song, right, Adrian? The Love Train. Okay, John Brown it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop the recording. I appreciate you all. Have a great every single day. Thank you.